Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Coffee Conversation Show powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Series is The Emerging Lawyer. Theme is The Legal Architect Navigating the Real Estate Challenges. We are at Pure the chocolate bar, and we have with us a guest speaker, Karan Mathur, a real estate lawyer and an associate at Khaitan Company. Karan has an extensive experience in handling diverse real estate transactions. He has made significant contribution to the field, focusing on title, land, due diligence, drafting comprehensive real estate documents. His expertise spans across projects like slum rehabilitation, society redevelopment, and integrated township projects. So, friends, it will be a wonderful conversation to know about the world of real estate law. So, welcome, Karan, to today's special episode.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Let me explain to the format. You must be aware of the two rounds, the professional and the personal, but there is a surprise rapid fire round for which you will get a surprise gift when you clear that rapid fire round. So, let's begin our conversation. So, Karan, your first question for your professional journey round. How was experience been working in the real estate domain and what made you choose this niche area?
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much, sir, for inviting me for this podcast. And as far as the question is concerned, my journey in real estate has been incredible till date. Real estate is one of the largest sector in India after service sector, and it is also projected that it's gonna contribute almost 15% to India's GDP by 2030. One thing which I love about real estate is it is ever evolving. It has challenges in it. So that is something very fascinating to me. The reason why I chose this niche is deep rooted to my childhood curiosity. So what happened was that one day I was traveling with my family around 10 years back to Mumbai, and what I observed that in Mumbai there are buildings having 50 floors, 60 floors, and when to think through, in my city where I stay, which is 60 kilometers away from Mumbai, that is Ulhasnagar, there the buildings were restricted only to 7 or 8 or 10 floors. So I used to think why this difference between Mumbai and my city. So that's when I researched and found out the concept of FSI, which is Floor Space Index, which states that if you have 1,000 square meters of plot, you cannot construct a 20 floors building on it. There are various factors which are on which the construction is dependent, such as the width of roads, the fire safety provisions, the NOCs of various authorities. So all of these factors are involved. So that's how I researched this concept, and uh, to go further in this, what happened was, one day I was traveling again back in train around 6-7 years back, and I met one uncle of mine, and back of the mind real estate was going on. Despite that, I tried a lot of things like preparing for UPSC examinations, like doing events management. I did application for cabin crew, that is flight attendant. But despite all of these things, back in my head, only there was one thing: real estate. So I tried speaking with uncle, and he was a local developer. His name is Sharad Desai, in close proximity to my city. So I said, uncle, I'm interested. So he just told me कि Karan तुम कल से join कर लो. I was very shocked in that moment, but I took that leap of faith. I went there. I did so I sold flats. I did marketing for them. I purchased raw materials for the building like cement, steels, and everything. But lastly, I also briefed some of the councils for their litigation. That's how I developed my interest in real estate law. And it's been a 6.5 years journey. I am there to here. So that's about it.
Wow. So now, Karan, how has experience been with Khaitan and Company in their real estate division?
Yeah. So firstly, having a non-NLU background, which is no, I have a background of normal law school, which is not a national law school. It was a very distant dream that I'll be able to, someday work with top tier firm like Khaitan. So the journey till now, it's been only short span of time, which is 2 months. The journey till now has been like too smooth. It is little overwhelming sometimes, but I thought that it is difficult. But what I understood right now is, with somewhat of dedication and somewhat of hard work, one can try, target, and achieve working in Khaitan. And it's almost India's oldest law firm with a legacy spanning over a century. So it's quite a different experience working for a tier one firm like Khaitan.
Wow. Okay. Now, Karan, what are some of the most complex real estate transactions you have handled, and how did you navigate them?
Okay, so sir, after my law school, I have handled a lot of real estate transactions. So almost all the transactions have its own nitty-gritties and its own complexities. But to state and to name few of the transactions which were complex in nature is something known as a mixture of Regulation 33. So what happens in suburbs or in Mumbai city somewhere also, there is a combination of 33(7), which is society redevelopment, 33(10) regulation, these are slum redevelopment, and 33(11), which is a PTC development. The full form is permanent transit camps. So it's a mixture of development, which is one of its kind project, which is happening in suburbs by a few developers. I don't know if I can name them or not. So those were the transactions wherein we had to research and find out solutions how to go about it. कि उसको exactly कैसे करना है, what will be the transaction documents, what challenges will the allottees or the developers will face. So this is one of few transactions which was complex, little bit complex in nature, which we, like me with the support of my seniors, of course, navigated through.
Wow. So, Karan, how do you ensure compliance with laws such as the Stamp Act, Registration Act, RERA, land laws for your clients' projects?
Okay. To answer to this question, sir, first we'll have to understand what exactly RERA is. So, RERA is Real Estate Regulatory Authority, and before RERA there was MOFA, Maharashtra Ownership of Flat Act. But in MOFA there were some lacunas to fill with, because there was no proper way. If a allottee is facing some issues, he only has to he has only option to approach to civil court or to the consumer courts, which used to take a lot of time, and builders used to take advantage of this regulation. They used to delay the possessions by whatever years they wanted. With this, sir, what used to happen that the FIIs, that is the foreign investment, in India were not that much in real estate sector. In order to tackle this, what government decided that they will bring up a law, they'll bring a law which is at central level and which will have all the lacunas filled which MOFA doesn't have. With respect to state of Maharashtra, and RERA was introduced in all the states of India. So that is how RERA came into the force. If you'll speak about the compliance of laws such as Stamp Act, registration, and RERA, to answer to this question, sir, I believe all these laws are interconnected between themselves. So let's take an example. If a developer has constructed a building and he wants to sell a flat, he has to do it by way of an agreement for sale or by a sale deed if the project is completed. The moment he'll go to the registration officer to register that particular agreement, the provisions of Stamp Act will kick in. He will have to compulsorily pay the Stamp Act, because without that the registrar will not register the agreement. Then second point which the registrar sees is whether that project has been registered with RERA or not, or have they obtained the registration certificate under RERA or not. So if you'll see at the end, if someone is going to register that particular document, every law is interconnected. The stamp duty has to be paid. The project has to be registered under RERA. The permissions has to be obtained from the competent authority. So compliance to some extent at the time of diligencing the property has to be taken care by the lawyer. Otherwise, it is formed or it is connected in such a way that it is taken care by itself only.
Wow. Okay. Now let's go to slum rehabilitation. How's the experience in that slum rehabilitation projects?
Okay. Uh, so, sir, if you'll see the history of Mumbai and suburbs, there are only 4 to 5 major ways with which this city can be developed. Like, not this city can be developed, the projects can be developed in Mumbai city. First is mill land development, the mills which were there earlier functioning in Mumbai. Second is slum rehabilitation redevelopment. Third is society redevelopment. And now the government in the year almost 2010, 2011 came up with cluster redevelopment. More than that, there are no vacant land available in Mumbai to be developed. So firstly is this thing. And whatever the skyscrapers building or the skyline of the Mumbai is, that is only because of the mill lands ka redevelopment. So in total, there are 56 mill lands in Mumbai, out of which majority of them have been already redeveloped. So what options developer are left with is SRA, society redevelopment and cluster redevelopment. And sir, you'll be amazed and shocked by this fact. Mumbai has 77% of tallest building in whole Asia. Alongside, Mumbai has largest slum in Asia. So it has both. It has skyscrapers also, it has slums also. So in order to tackle this, government came up with this regulation, SRA, Slum Rehabilitation Authority, in the year, if I'm not wrong, between 1970 to 1980. So to understand the concept of SRA, we will first need to understand the concept of slum. Slum is a place which is not safely habitable, is not convenient, or is not hygienic to stay in. Okay. The concept of slum is prevailing in India, in Mumbai, before independence also. Only the act came into the year 70 or 80, but the concept is prevailing before independence as well, because people started migrating to Mumbai for jobs and businesses. With this, the concept of slum started, and they started mushrooming. To stop this and to maintain the city at its level, the government came up with this regulation. But in the initial years, it was not taken up by the developers. So then, after the introduction of DCPR 2034, that is Development Control Promotion Regulation 2034, government started giving a lot of incentives and benefits to the developers who started taking SRA projects. So basically what happens is government notifies a place as slum, then that particular people who are staying in that slum can come together and form a proposed cooperative society. They can approach a developer, or a developer can approach them for the redevelopment. Then there are processes to it. So for example, the developer has to comply and obtain annexure 1, 2, 3. The scheme has to be submitted to SRA. Once the scrutiny is done, SRA issues letter of intent. Then the construction start taking place. The slum dwellers has to be rehabilitated to a other place, or to they have to be given a rent for living outside for that period, and that's how the process works. So I have worked on 3-4 SRA projects. So till now the experience has been good only, and I feel the future of Mumbai city and Mumbai suburbs is SRA and society redevelopment, and also the cluster redevelopment.
Wow. Okay. So now your experience in working on integrated township projects.
Yeah.
What challenges do you face, and what steps you have taken to overcome them?
Okay. So integrated township projects are mostly located in the outskirts of Mumbai, because in Mumbai there is no vacant land, and the first and foremost condition for any developer to take up a ITP project is having a requirement of 100 acres of open vacant land. So that is the first and foremost requirement of a developer to construct a ITP. But there are ITPs which are having almost 4,000 acres of land also. There are a lot of challenges with a developer face at the time of acquisition of that land. There is always, many a times the villagers do not agree to give their lands for the development. So they acquire that land by way of their aggregators. So those are the local people who help the developer to acquire the land. So this is the first stage in the ITP. There is more to it. The procedure of ITP to getting the permissions and approvals is in 4 stages. First is the locational clearance by the Urban Development Department. Second is the letter of intent from the collector after getting all the permissions, approvals like NOCs such as irrigation NOC is required, archaeological survey ka NOC is required, your highways NOCs are required. So there are a lot of documents and documentations which is involved in order to start a ITP project. First stage is getting locational clearance. In second stage, they have to submit the documents of ownership of that land along with all the permissions to collector. Once that is submitted, after the scrutiny, collector issues the letter of intent. At the third stage, master layout is prepared, and once it is done, the developer has to apply to the ADTP or the Special Planning Authority for getting the commencement certificate, which is usually in phases, first phase, second phase, third phase. While developing ITP, the developer face a lot of challenges, but slowly they are finding ways to tackle that. One challenge which banks at the time of giving finance to these developers who are developing ITP phase is that the demarcation and the minimum requirement of 100 acres. Like if, for example, today a bank gives a loan to a developer who is constructing a ITP, say bank gives 100 crore loans on out of 100 acres, 10 acres of land. So enforcement of that security becomes very difficult because there are requirements of basic 100 acres, the plans cannot be divided, there is only, the permission is in only the name of one developer. So there are a lot of technical difficulties which banks also face at the time of giving loans or mortgaging that properties, and as well as other difficulties.
Okay. So Karan, what are the key legal considerations when drafting comprehensive real estate documents?
So while drafting any real estate document, first and foremost thing is that the intent of the person who is drafting it should be clear. The person who has assigned this task for getting a thing done should be clear. Like, for example, I want to purchase a land, say in Thane, of 10 acres. And I have given a lawyer this assignment to draft a conveyance deed. So a lawyer cannot just start, like open his laptop and start drafting the conveyance deed. He has to ask at least 20-30 other questions revolving around the assignment and the transaction. Like what type of land it is, who is the current owner of that land, what are the commercials decided between the parties, how you are planning to register this property, what is the title of this land. So there are a lot of questions which are involved. First, the lawyer who is drafting that particular document has to be very thorough with the laws, basically, which is the very basic step for any lawyer. The laws has to be thorough, and the intent of the parties, the commercial angle to it, the safeguard measures for the client has to be taken care of. With this approach, all the documents are more or less same only. With this, one can start and complete drafting of any document. So I am also like slowly learning only how to do this. I am also not the expert in doing this, because I feel real estate is such a field where you learn every day, because the laws, circulars, everything changes day by day. So I am also learning, but people like who wants to learn needs to be thorough with the laws and the intent of the parties, what I feel is.
Wow. Okay. Karan, why is title land due diligence very important in real estate transactions?
Okay. So sir, this question is very near to my heart because my full practice of real estate law is based on this title due diligence. So title in simple terms means ownership right in the property. Due diligence in normal parlance also means you have to be thorough, you have to take all the care, and you have to be very diligent at the time of purchasing a property. So this is the basic meaning of title due diligence. To answer to this question in detail, first I would like to explain there are major 5-6 ways through which a immovable property can be transferred. One of it is sale, conveyance, second is gift, third is release, fourth is lease of the property, fifth is by development agreement or through power of attorney, sixth is by any testamentary document, say will, and seventh is mortgage. So these are only 6-7 methods through which a immovable property can be transferred from one person or one entity to another. So, sorry. Okay. So these are only the 5-6 methods or ways through which a immovable property can be transferred. But what needs to be taken care is there are a lot of details and there are a lot of encumbrances revolving around the properties. There can be litigations involved in the property. There can be title disputes around the property. So these are all the technicalities which a layman will, in normal parlance, will not be able to understand. So for that purpose, what people usually do is they appoint a lawyer and they give the details and the documents to the lawyer to conduct a thorough due diligence of that property to ascertain whether the title is proper or not. So this is the basic step. So to answer this question to the further deep down level is, if you will see, sir, nowadays bank, if there is one bank or an NBFC and उनको अगर कुछ छोटा सा लोन देना है to a small flat owner, say let's example 20 lakhs का उनको लोन देना है Karan Mathur को, and simultaneously parallelly a developer approaches that bank and says keep this land in mortgage and give me 100 crores. So this is a 20 lakh transaction, that is a 100 crore transaction. But in both the instances, what bank will do is bank will conduct a title due diligence from a lawyer to ascertain कि इसमें encumbrances कुछ है कि नहीं, whether the flat or the land has been already mortgaged to some bank or some other entity, इसमें कुछ litigations है कि नहीं, इसमें किसी के objections claims है कि नहीं, whether there is minor interest involved in this. There are a lot of there are hundreds of things which needs to be taken care of, which I can tell in detail, but I don't think so the time permits that. So these are the things which needs to be taken care of at the time of purchase of any immovable property. What people nowadays does is they will happily give brokerage of 1 or 2% to the broker to acquire any flat, commercial premises or land, but they will not appoint a lawyer to conduct a thorough title diligence of that property. Yes, and eventually what happens that they get stuck. Even if the reputation of the builder is good, there can be anything which can pop up, which can be only ascertained when this exercise is taken care of. So that is about it. My experience has totally been into title due diligence only, where we have done title for almost all types of properties. So it is very important to do title diligence.
Wow. So now, Karan, your profession in Marathi language, how does it help in real estate projects, especially in Maharashtra region?
Okay. So, sir, if you'll see, the laws in all the states somewhat vary. So, the land laws especially are different for each state. The intent and the purpose of the government or of anyone who's framing that law is same, but somewhat there are differences based on the regions of that particular state. In Maharashtra specifically, most of the documents such as mutation entry, 712 extracts, which portrays or reflects the records of land, are in Maharashtra. So in Maharashtra, for the longest of the times, government used to issue circulars, orders, gazettes in Marathi language. If I'll speak about myself, my mother hails from Vidarbh region and she speaks very fluent Marathi, even like better Marathi than most of the Maharashtrians also. So I've been born and brought up seeing her speaking Marathi, and I've also seen people around me speaking Sindhi and Hindi. So that has played a very important role. Because of the understanding of Marathi, I can navigate through the basic orders or the handwritten documents which are there in Marathi. So it really helps as compared to other real estate lawyers who does not understand Marathi or have expertise in other language. So it 100% matters.
Wow. Okay, Karan, who has influenced you from the world of real estate laws?
Okay, so this is a bit tough question, sir, because with time, what has happened that at every stage of my career, I have seen people with outstanding skills. May that be lawyers, may that be like some people. किसी के पास तो law degree भी नहीं है, but still they have so much knowledge about agricultural diligence. Like they are the encyclopedias of laws. So एट एवरी स्टेज ऑफ माई लाइफ मेरे को ऐसे लोग मिले हैं जिनसे मैं इन्फ्लुएंस हुआ हूँ. आई डोंट थिंक सो आई कैन नेम वन और टू, बट देर आर मेनी पीपल विद whom I have personally been influenced from.
Wow. So, how's technology helped you, and which legal tech tool has impacted your work, Karan?
Okay. So, technology is the only future with coming up of AI and all. If I can recollect of something which was very helpful for me personally, is there's this website called as Gamma AI. So I was assigned to prepare a PowerPoint presentation with respect to ITP itself, which we discussed earlier. I was clueless how to go about it. I just researched what are the AI tools to prepare a PowerPoint presentation. And I came across this website known as Gamma AI. And it's so good that it can make presentation for you in just 2 minutes. So this is one of it. There are a lot of other tools as well which we use, somewhat of chat GPT for research on laws, case laws. So that's about it. Yeah.
Wow. So now let's go to the another round, that is personal round, and let's understand Karan as a person. So tell us about your family and your formative years, Karan.
Okay. So if I speak about my family, whatever I am today is because of them only and the upbringing which I have had. So sir, my father was into a labor intensive job, which is far away from this profession. Initially we were not that well enough, like wasn't well enough to do it, but slowly we matched up. And my family, उन्होंने कभी भी वो वाले स्ट्रगल्स को हम लोगों पे इफेक्ट होने नहीं दिया, मी एंड माई एल्डर ब्रदर. बट वॉट आई हैव सीन इज माई फादर, लाइक जो भी वो करते थे, ही यूज टू गिव हिज 1000% इन वॉट एवर ही यूज टू डू with utmost focus and without any excuses or anything. So right from the beginning ये एक चीज़ है जो मैंने उनकी बहुत ज़्यादा ऑब्जर्व की थी, and which I till date try to inculcate that thing in myself. But what happens is after the demise of my father, we thought everything is crumbling. Like अब कुछ there is nothing which is कुछ बचा ही नहीं है. I used to think in this way. But that's when मेरी मम्मी ने बहुत ज़्यादा important role play किया to push me with utmost positivity. And मेरे बड़े भाई ने मेरे पापा का role I think ले लिया. So upbringing has helped me a lot. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. How's the experience been at your college, and what activities or actions you're part of?
So I was not that studious in my college, and used to play all the sports which were there in college, and I used to participate in all the college fests and all. When the moment I entered my law school, what I did was I started working with the developer in the real estate field. And I used to attend college in the morning for say if there were 4 lectures, then I used to attend 1 or 2 at max, and full day I used to work, which helped me a lot in my career, because those 3 years I had worked also in this particular real estate law field, and I've studied also. So I'll say the college life I've not enjoyed that much, but yeah, it helped me in my career.
Wow. Okay, do you have any favorite book or movie that has influenced you or impacted you?
So I'm not much of a reader except the statutes and the laws which are there. To be honest, I'm not much of a reader, but recently I watched this movie known as Veer Swatantra Savarkar, Swatantra Veer Savarkar. which motivated me to next level. If you haven't watched this movie, please do have a look at it once. So it gives a lot of perspective to your life. People, whatever people used to believe at that particular moment, they used to go full throttle in that. So that movie inspired me a lot. With in that aspect, when if you believe in something, just go for it full throttle and you'll achieve it.
Wow. So, what are some of your favorite activities that you prefer to do on your weekends or during holidays?
So holidays, first if we'll speak about weekends, being in this career, sir, it's so the deadlines in this career are very tight, and some days we have to work over the weekends as well. So it's a little bit hectic as far as work is concerned. But I have made this mistake in my past where I used to push my friends or my family, and used to only concentrate on work, which has impacted me. So now I have learned my lessons, but I manage both of them. I manage my work also, I manage my family also. I make sure whenever I have work, at least when I'm at home over the weekends, I eat all my meals with my family. And what I do is after dinner, I go out with my friends to play badminton or to just do chit chatting, and that's it.
Wow.
And if we'll speak about holidays, just before joining Khaitan, I went to a solo trip to Krabi, Thailand. I thought it will be a dull experience being a solo trip, but it turned out to be so well that I, made friends with people who were from different countries, and I realized that spending time with yourself is also very important. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
about it.
So, anything in your bucket list that you want to do in 2024 professionally and personally?
Uh, Professionally, in my bucket list is, sir, I want to take my mom for an international trip very soon, which I'm planning in the month of December or January. So that is my short-term goal as of now. Professionally, there are few things which I am intending to, do. So those are few things which I'm planning to do.
Wow. Okay. Any hobbies or creative interest that you have developed recently or carried over from your early days?
Yeah. So what? So the moment I moved to Mumbai around 2 3 years back, because of my work, I realized that in this career there is a lot of stress, there is a lot of emotional breakdown which a lawyer faces. In order to tackle this, I don't know, somehow someday I started running. So that is something which I look up to whenever I have time. Running gives a sense of accomplishment with each extra mile I run. I feel I have achieved something, and that also helps me to manage my stress and whatever emotionally I'm feeling. So that is something which I've developed recently, and I want to continue it for a longer period of time in order to be fit as well.
Wow. So, Karan, do you stay connected with your friends which you have made over the years, and what activities you do with them?
So recently, it's been difficult to catch up with my old friends and be in connect with them. But I always try to do that. But we'll see in future if I can somehow manage to take some time out for that thing.
Okay, so my last question, describe Karan in one line.
Uh, Overthinker.
Okay, so let's have some fun, the rapid fire round.
Sure.
Uh, your favorite travel place?
Krabi, Thailand.
Okay, then a skill you wish to learn?
AI.
Wow. Your favorite color?
Black.
Your favorite food dish?
Vada pav.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Let's have a toast.
Thank you.
Your most memorable moment in your career?
Okay. Me joining Khaitan.
Wow. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl for sure.
Okay. Your favorite place in Mumbai?
Tardev.
Okay. What did you like in Tardev? There is one favorite place over there.
There's this place called Maji Sagar where you get very tasty food to eat. There's pav bhaji and everything. And I started my Mumbai stay from that place, so that is very near to my heart. So that's the reason.
Wow. So you did very well.
Yeah.
So you get this book.
Thank you so much.
So friends, I'm an author of 15 ebooks. So go through and share your inputs.
Thank you.
So, friends, it was a lovely conversation we had with Karan Mathur on a Saturday evening, understanding the gamut of real estate laws. He has got real experience. So, any company who wants to go for redevelopment or township redevelopment, slum rehabilitation, or wants to do due diligence, so he's a person, and their company, Khaitan Co, is a law firm to go for. You do watch this episode if you want to enter real estate law as your niche area. Friends, we have over 200 plus episodes on the Coffee Conversation Show. Subscribe to our channel. You'll get to meet different subject experts with different topics, sharing their journey and expertise. Enjoy your Sunday, and we meet again with another coffee speaker. Thank you.
Thank you.